Claudia Harvey and Wendy Johansson, two good friends, both enjoying, among other interests, gardening. But it annoyed them that digging in the dirt often ruined their well-manicured nails, so they decided to do something about it.
Well, my business partner Wendy and I have been friends for about 18 years, and she was coming over for a barbecue on Labor Day weekend in 2007, and she came over and she had a manicure on the Saturday, and this was the Sunday, and she was complaining that the manicure has been destroyed because she was in the garden, and they should create garden gloves or utility gloves for ladies to protect manicures. So we continued on with our barbecue, and that was great. And then about 3 or 4 months later, around Christmas time, we said, well, we should just meet for breakfast and let's talk about that idea, because they could become us. So they did become us, and we have created that was the impetus of Dig It. So we created Dig It basically from just meeting up on that Labor Day weekend. We had no experience in any apparel business whatsoever, but both Wendy and I have a gamut of professional business background. So she's in sales and marketing, I've been in sales and marketing, I also have operations finance. So we thought from a business side we could marry the two and create a business. We actually designed the glove to be in a different market, not in the garden market per se. I think that's what threw us off so much, because we actually designed the glove to be in the spa beauty market. So we thought that the glove would be great to be in salons and spas that have manicures and whatnot beside the manicurist station, and then they could upsell those gloves to the customers. And sure, we have a few salons in Canada that have that. But as soon as we aired on Dragon's Den, it became very obvious that we would be in the garden industry. So that, I think, was the biggest shock to us, because we were marketing in a certain way, and then we realized that, oh, I think really we have to be in the garden industry, because that seems to be where the demand is.
Many experts have said that partnership is like a marriage, and partners often spend more time with each other than with their spouse. Mixing strong personalities presents challenges and sometimes conflicts.
Of course there's arguments, like any friendship does, and any business partners do, and of course there are, but we don't hold it against each other. We try to keep it all very professional, and both of us have that same business ethic to do that. I personally know that Wendy would say that I am more of the control freak of the relationship. I am very, very, very detailed oriented. Wendy is very big picture. So the two of us combined, it's a great combination.
An appearance on Dragon's Den was the furthest thing away from Claudia's mind, but Wendy was persistent, and before they knew it, they were facing down 4 dragons and sealed a deal with Kevin O'Leary.
It was surreal. That's just one great word for it. Again, you don't know what you don't know going into it. We knew it was going to be big because it's a national show, and it's, like, I think, rated #1 on CBC. So it's a very prominent show, and the dragons are prominent people. So we knew it was going to be big should we even get aired. So the process to even get in front of the camera is pretty big. They give you advice on what you should know about your business before you go on air, or before you get in front of the dragons. So we practiced and we practiced, and we knew our numbers. We did not have a high valuation on our company because we didn't want to be greedy. And at the time we were so new to our business that it was pretty easy to be realistic about the business. But we already had some sales. So we had a proven package, proven look, had trademarked it already. So we were down that path already, so it was already there.
Having a friend as a partner is one thing. Adding Dragon's Den Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, adds an entirely different dynamic.
One of the fundamental things about going into business with Kevin O'Leary, because Kevin has such a strong business background and he is so noticeable in Canada and now in the States with Shark Tank, to partner with him gives us credibility as a company, that he saw there's something there as a company and he wanted to buy into us. So it gives us instant credibility. Then with his background and his connections, he has introduced us to a number of opportunities and assisted us in the background, certainly not in the forefront, but in the background, just to say that we have been on Dragon's Den, we have partnered with Kevin O'Leary, and again, that gives us the credibility. He has opened some doors for us. Once those doors are open, we go in with 2 feet, he goes behind the scenes again, and then we just take off with the opportunity and do what we have to do as a business. So he's very, very, very behind the scenes of our business.
In the first few years of any business, there are setbacks, and some of the setbacks can be very discouraging. Claudia agrees that there are days when it's one step forward and two back. You need to stay focused on those positive steps forward.
I think the positives far outweigh the negatives with owning your own business that has proven successful. I think in the 3 years that we have been in business, we have come in leaps and bounds compared to other companies that have started 3 years ago, and I think that's awesome. And I try and look at that every day as a positive. Of course there's challenges, every job has a challenge, regardless if you're working at a corporate job or doing an entrepreneurial job, everything has a challenge. But we like what we do, number one. We're our own bosses, number two. We've made sales, number three. We're now moving into the States, so we're now, and the UK. So in 3 years, we've gone from Canada to the States and to the UK. So it's good, it's all good. So we just have to keep the positives in mind. And I think entrepreneurs are very much like that. They have to keep the positives, and that's part of their personality to do that.
Part of entrepreneurship is powering through those moments of self-doubt. And no matter who you are, everyone experiences a little second guessing.
I think every entrepreneur does. Like, oh my gosh, is this really worth it? Should I get the stability of a real job versus winging it? And so sure, you sometimes think about that, but at the same time, it's your baby, you're growing it, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into it, and it's your own. It's not someone else's company or corporation. So those are the benefits and the rewards as you're seeing it grow.
Entrepreneurs are resilient, resourceful, and must be self-confident.
Sometimes when you're at a consumer show or you've heard people talk about your product, or you get emails from consumers and they say, I love your product, it's the best, it's great. And you go, oh, we did it right. We started from scratch. We started from nothing. And we've created something that people actually like. So it's the, aha, we did it moments. It's also money, of course. Like we're building a business that we think is going to be extremely viable, and we have a very long-term goal to make money. So of course that's going to be also a very primary focus and a primary drive and goal for the business, and to keep us going. I personally like owning my own business because I have the flexibility to manage my lifestyle, and I don't have a boss over me. I have a business partner, and she's been wonderful, and hopefully I've been wonderful with her, so it's great.
Claudia and Wendy have overcome the startup obstacles, and now they face the growth and sustainability challenges.
The biggest challenge, I think, is to manage the business responsibly. That I think 2012 we will have a surplus of profit that we hopefully not necessarily have to put back into the business, but maybe we will. So it's not being greedy. It's trying to work the business responsibly, not going off on different tangents, and keeping to our business plan, keeping to our core values, keeping to what we want to be in business and to portray to the consumer.
As an entrepreneur now, Claudia finds it easy to define what it means to her.
They will go off on tangents and sometimes fly by the seat of their pants because they have to. They have to take a big gulp, leap of faith, and just do it based on the background and the experiences that they have, and believe in themselves. So a lot of it's in a belief system.
Now that Claudia has lived the startup, growth, and survival parts of Dig It Handwear, she has some final words of advice for others who follow in her footsteps.
I think you take your time, you develop the product or the service that you want to develop, and research it very, very well before you actually start going into business. And if you have a viable product or service, believe in yourself, get some proven sales, believe in those sales, and springboard off every single solitary opportunity that you possibly can. Networking is key. Social networking is key in today's day and age. And the more people you meet, talk about, brand yourself, get out there, never stop. Just believe in yourself and just don't stop.